From Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 2006. Unveiling the hidden stories of our past, why genealogy matters more than ever. So let's get started. It's a great topic to talk about, and I'm just sort of like, oh. But I do have a question for you today. Your question for today is, have you ever wondered what extraordinary stories are hidden in your family tree? What triumphs, struggles, and legacies shape the path to where you are today? And we've kind of been touching on this the last few weeks, but every family has a story waiting to be told. Have you ever wondered what roads our ancestors walked, what battles they fought, or what triumphs they celebrated? Whether it's uncovering stories of resilience, migration, or even survival, genealogy is more than just dates and names. It's about understanding the human experience that shaped who we are today. So this is what we're going to be talking about tonight. Let's see. I actually wrote out a script and I screwed it up already. I don't do scripts very well, but you'll get the gist of what's in the script. There's a lot of stuff in the script that I'm not going to be talking about. I don't know why I put it in there, but I think I was just doing a brain dump at the time. So we're going to also give you an introduction to Your Family Tree Detective as well, which is where we've spent over 40 years helping people just like you to discover the stories hidden in your family trees. Today, we're diving into the topic, why genealogy matters more than ever. And with all this AI stuff and everything out there, you've got to get the facts. You've got to find the facts. And there's just so much going on in the world right now. It's come back to your roots, come back to where you came from, learn more about your history. So here we go. So let me tell you about a client who came to me with just a name and a few vague details about their family. What we uncovered was astonishing, a journey that connected them to their ancestors who survived incredible hardships, built legacies, and even influenced historical events. These discoveries changed how they saw themselves and their place in the world. That is the power of genealogy. It's more than research. It's self-discovery, connection, and legacy. So why does genealogy matter? Genealogy matters for so many reasons, and it's deeply personal for each of us. So let's explore a few of the most powerful reasons why it's worth embarking on this journey. A journey of self-discovery. When we dive into our family history, we're not just learning about the past, we're learning about ourselves. For example, one of my clients uncovered a connection to ancestors who were early pioneers building a life from scratch in a new land. That legacy of perseverance gave them a new perspective on their own strength and ability to face challenges. Genealogy shows us that we are part of something bigger. Our identities are shaped not just by who we are today, but by the stories and the choices of those who came before us. The emotional rewards with genealogy. Genealogy isn't always easy. Some discoveries can be bittersweet. Maybe you uncover a tragic story or a hardship that your family endured, but those moments, while emotional, are also healing. For example, I've worked with someone who wanted to learn about their father's childhood. What started as a simple record search turned into a profound journey of understanding, giving them closure and a sense of connection they'd been longing for. Every story matters, even the hard ones. They remind us of resilience and strength in our family line. And another reason is creating a legacy for future generations. Think of genealogy as a gift, not just for you, but your children, grandchildren, and generations to come. When you preserve the stories of your ancestors, you are building a bridge between the past, present, and future. It's more than a history lesson. It's a way to inspire future generations to honor where they came from and take pride in their heritage. And it is. Just taking pride in your heritage, knowing when you've come from, knowing the struggles and the triumphs and everything that your ancestors have been through so that you can exist today it's just an incredible story. And no novelist out there, no movie writer out there can ever put pen to paper and write what your ancestors have been through to bring you here today. If you go back and look at their stories, some of their stories are so incredible that they're almost unbelievable, but they're true. So where do you begin? Starting your genealogy journey can feel overwhelming, but with a few simple steps, you can start uncovering your family's hidden stories. Begin at home. Start with what you already know. Talk to older relatives, ask them about their memories, and record their stories. One of the simplest, most powerful tools in genealogy is conversation. Older family members often hold details and memories that aren't written down anywhere else. And this is so true. I have heard the stories from my ancestors, my grandparents, my great-grandparents. I've heard the stories. They were all oral. Stories of holidays, traditions, or even a quirky family legend that may turn out to be true. You can use modern tools. Technology has transformed genealogy, making it more accessible than ever. Here are some of the tools you can use. You can use things like DNA kits, like Ancestry DNA, 23andMe, Family Tree DNA can provide surprising insults. Can provide surprising insights, even connect you to relatives you didn't know you had. Online databases such as Ancestry, MyHeritage, and Family Search offer access to millions of historical records, from census data to immigration documents. And just remember, those records represent about 5% or less of all of the available records in the world of what's online. Don't overlook tools that can preserve your family physical records. Scanning apps and digital storage solutions can help keep old photos and letters safe for generations to come. When to seek professional help. Sometimes the trail gets tricky. Yeah, it does. Maybe you've hit a brick wall in your research, or maybe you simply don't have the time to dive as deep as you'd like. That's where a professional genealogist can make all the difference. For example, we had a client who couldn't get past their great-grandfather in their research. With our expertise, we uncovered records that led back more than 3 generations, revealing an incredible story of migration and resilience. A professional can help you break through those challenges, uncork hard-to-find records, and turn your family tree into a meaningful narrative. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a thought. Your family's history is a story of courage, love, and triumph. By exploring it, you're not just uncovering the past, you're connecting to something timeless and creating a gift for the future. At Your Family Tree Detective, we specialize in helping people like you to uncover, honor, and preserve your family's untold stories. Whether you're just getting started or looking to dig deeper, we're here to guide you every step of the way. So if you're ready to take the first step, just go to yourfamilytreedetective.com and today to learn more about how we can help you on this journey. I'm going to leave you with a quote. A family tree is not just names. It's a story of resilience, love, and life. Thank you for joining me today, and be sure to look at our question that we gave you earlier, which is, have you ever wondered what extraordinary stories are hidden in your family tree? What triumphs, struggles, and legacies help shape the path to where you are today? Is there a certain reason that you do something, that you are a certain way? Or sometimes it is not environmental, sometimes it is actually in your genes. There are certain traits that they're discovering are actually in your DNA. Which is absolutely amazing to think of things like that. You know, you've got the physical attributes that come through DNA, like color of your hair, like when you're going to turn gray. I will tell you this. My grandfather, my maternal grandfather, he was totally white by the time he was 21. I got my first ash blonde. I got told in the hair salon it's called ash blondes, not grays. I got my first ash blonde when I was 23. I started coloring my hair when I was 27. I gave it up just before my 50th birthday. Only because a friend told me that's what she was doing as well. And so I figured, why not? And I said to Brad, I said, you don't mind if I grow the color out and just go natural with my hair color? He says, well, if you don't like it, you can always color it again. But I will tell you, this is what shocked me the most, is that when I was getting my hair cut, I said, my hairstylist, I'd already given a pre-warning that we were cutting the color out, because we got it to the stage where when I had my short hair, that we could go short, but there was still a little color left. And so she trimmed out as much as she could and left there's about this much color just on the tips, about that much color left. And I just looked, and when she was done, I looked in the mirror and I went, oh my God. And she's like, what's the matter? I says, I've never looked so young. The coloring had actually aged me. When I go back and look at some of my photographs, when I had my hair colored, I actually looked older than I did when I got rid of the color out of my hair. Go figure. It's in my DNA. My blue eyes, those are in the DNA as well. How strong your teeth are. All your physical attributes are all in your DNA, but there's also some traits that get passed down. There's some family values that may get passed down through generations. I remember watching Who Do You Think You Are? And they did Chris O'Donnell, who played Robin in Batman and Robin. And he was in NCIS LA, NCIS Los Angeles. He was in that series as well, and a few other bits and pieces he's been in. They did him, and his he's always had a sense of family, and he wanted to know where it came from. Well, as he was going back, he was finding out in his past he had had grandfathers, and we're talking great, second greats, third greats, just going back through the great grandfather line, that he'd had grandfathers who'd been in the middle of, who'd been fighting wars, different wars. There was, I think it was the Spanish War, no, hang on, the Spanish War, the Mexican War, and the Civil War, who resigned their commission and headed home because family needed them. Think about that. And this has been passed down through the generation. These family, that core sense of family has been passed down through generations. I'm just like, that is so cool. And I remember Susan Sarandon, the actress, on her one, she didn't know a lot about her grandmother because her mother didn't talk a lot about her mother. And so they did this research and found out that she used to be a dancing, and Susan had no idea where her entertainment abilities came from. And in the Who Do You Think You Are, it came out that her maternal grandmother, so her mother's mother, had actually worked in the dance halls in the 1920s, and I think it was New York. And so she was hanging around with people like Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, all of that crew, the Rat Pack and all that crew in these dance halls. And she says, oh, that's where my love for the stage has come from, because it's been passed down through generations. Now, I may skip some generations. I have skipped the gardening gene. It is totally beyond me. Don't put me in a garden and say, here, create a garden. I'll just look at you and go, I have no clue. Even though growing up, my parents would have me helping out in the garden, like weeding and things like that. None of that stuck. Now, my paternal grandmother was a very good gardener, and she could grow just about anything. And I always remember on their front porch, you'd come up, there'd be the side of the house here, there'd be the front door here, then the side of the house, and then there'd be a solid wall here with a window that looked over to the front yard, and just like a little half wall that came just like halfway across, and there'd be those wide steps that go up. And on this side here on the window, she would have these rows of African violets that were always blooming. And so she would give my mum clippings to bring home of those African violets and give her specific instructions on how to get them to grow and flower. My mum, who has a green thumb, like my dad, they're very good with gardening. It skipped me completely. I would watch her. She would pull out the instructions that she was given by grandma that would be all written down, step-by-step instructions. She would follow those instructions to the letter T, including how much water to put in the glass and how much feed to give it, everything. And she could never get them to look as good as my grandmother's. And I think that was a bit of a frustration for her. But my mum and dad grew the most beautiful fruit, vegetables that we have. We always had great vegetable gardens. If us kids got hungry, we're outside playing with Gen Xers, we're outside playing and we got hungry. You didn't go into the house to get it. It's raining. Yes, it's raining again. Oh, hearing this noise, I'm like, what is that? And it's raining. Yes. I get to go and do another dance in the rain. Yay. We started the morning off with rain. But anyway, back to my parents. We always had the most beautiful vegetable gardens, and us kids, if we got hungry while we were outside playing, we weren't allowed to go back in the house and get a snack. We just went to the garden, brought up a radish, brought up a carrot, washed it out under the garden hose, and chomp, 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 chomp. Thirsty, pick up the garden hose, have a drink. No big deal. I'm here. I've survived. So there are things that get passed down through generations. So what has been passed down to you? This is why you go and find out about your ancestors' lives. What has been passed down through the generations? Are you farmers today? And how many generations back does farming go in your family? It's all sorts of things you can find out. But I have to tell you about today. So this morning we woke up, it was 46 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 8 degrees Celsius. We got all bundled up, went out for our walk. And I'm looking at the ground going, that's looking a little on the wet side. There was no rain at the time. But I knew there was meant to be rain coming later. Showers. We were expecting showers today. So we got home and took off all of our winter gear so we could be comfortable in the house. We had our breakfast, and then I walked, and then I was busy opening up all the blinds and everything. I went and opened up the blinds over the sliding door. I looked out and I went, the back of the patio is wet. There's a strip that gets wet when it rains because there's this little strip that sticks out that's not under the roof. And so I went out there and I'm like looking at it going, it's raining. It wasn't raining. It was kind of like sprinkling. And so I went out and I'm in the backyard there and I'm dancing away. What's Zeffie doing? She's standing in the doorway just watching me. And I'm going, come on, Zeffie, you can come out. She wouldn't even come out under the cover of the patio. Nope. Not going to do. Nope. Absolutely not. No way, no how was she going to do that. And so when I looked at the weather app, it said that it was actually going to be raining. Rain was going to be starting in like 24 minutes, I think it was. And I'm like, yeah, they're lying. It's already raining. And so it's been raining. It was raining on and off all morning, which was awesome. This afternoon, the sun came out a little bit. And then just before we left for our walk, I asked Alexa what the current temperature was. And it was 51 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 10 degrees Celsius. And I asked if there was rain in the forecast. She says, yes, rain is due to start in, hang on, where are we now? Oh, at 7:40 something, or 7:50 something. I can't remember the exact time she gave me, but it was the later half of before 8 o'clock. After 7:30 and before 8 o'clock. It's raining right now. I can hear it. But anyway, so that's it from us. So look at some of the reasons to go back and look at your genealogy and find those connections that you have, because it's just amazing. There are such amazing stories. Like I said yesterday, I said just about any genre of book that's out there, as far as fiction books go, like romance and mystery and adventure and thrillers and brain's going for it. Just about everything except sci-fi and fantasy, you will find stories like that in your genealogy stories. And I'm sort of like, wow, our lives have triumph and celebrations, and just everything is in our stories to be told. So our job in this generation is to go back, find those stories, piece them together so that they're there for future generations coming, because the future generations are going to come up and they're going to be collecting all the stories back to when we are here, and then they've done all of this for us. Thank you, ancestors. Just remember, as my friend Francine says, we are our future generations' ancestors. So with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. We'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific.